we are. Hello, everyone. Okay. Okay. Here we go. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, 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 hello. Welcome to another live stream, virtual art studio on the Living Room Community Art Studios Facebook page. It's so great to be back here making art with you folks. Hey, Vanna, it's so great to hear from you. How are you doing? Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's one of those uh, gray, kind of snowy, slushy afternoons in Oshawa. I hope wherever you are, you're feeling safe and healthy and comfortable. And hey, Nicole, nice to see you too. Welcome. And well, whatever you're doing, wherever you are, I hope that you're able to take some time for yourself today and just create a little bit of joy for yourself, whether that's through making some art with me or perhaps making something of your own, maybe doing some writing, some music playing, maybe, I don't know, some organizing, some baking. There's so many things that any one of us could do. And if you'd like to join me in creating, you are welcome to. Hello, Wendy. It's good to see you too. Wendy. Oh, it's good to see you. Yeah, well, or no, you're there. Um, and if you're feeling a little, I don't know, not in the creative zone today, that's okay too. If you'd like to do something else while you listen to us or you watch, that's all right. If you'd like to join the chat, hey Shelly, welcome. You're welcome to join the chat, but if you'd just like to hang back and listen wherever you might be, of course that's okay. You do you, whatever works for you today, whatever helps you have the best day possible. And maybe if you're not having such a good day, maybe some time connecting here, creating, maybe it'll shift things a little bit for you and help take you to a better place or remind you of all the possibilities that are out there for you. And Vanna's saying, I'm doing good. Ooh, unfortunately, the time of these live streams are during your class time. That's right. I understand for all the students out there, this time may not be ideal if you live in Ontario or North America. But I promise, and you know what? In the new year, we're going to try and incorporate some new live streaming times so that everyone can have a chance to join in and participate. And I'm not the boss of you, Vanna, but class time's important, learning and all that. I don't want to be the one that makes you miss something important in class. So I'm just saying, I'm not the boss of you, but school's important, right? When we were at the Living Room studio on Simcoe Street, there used to be some young people that would come in on their lunch hour sometimes to make art from the school that was down the road. And one of their teachers came to know that that's where they would be. So if it looked like they were running late or if they hadn't shown up yet, usually she'd swing on by and say hi and just, give them that look, the look that only a teacher that cares can really give you. That look that says, come on, I got my eye on you, back to class now. And Shelly is not feeling so good today, watching on your phone. I'm so sorry, Shelly. I'm hoping, well, take care of yourself. Do what you need to do. It's okay if you can't stay the whole time. And that goes for everyone as well. We're here for about an hour and a half. Please take care of yourself. And that means you can only hang out for a few minutes or you need to, jump in and out throughout the stream. That's okay. I'm not the boss of you. Do what's right for you. And Vanna says, Vanna's studying online fully, so it's no worries. Okay, as long as you can catch up if you miss something. Though I'm not the boss of you either, Vanna. Well, coffee time. I'm actually thinking a lot today about students because this is a very difficult time of year. It's a very challenging time of year. Everyone's got lots of projects on the go. I know one of our volunteers who's got 3 exams in a row, one every day for the next couple of days. So I'm sending out some extra positive vibes to all those students, all the folks who are maybe, just doing their best to keep their heads above water. And whatever extra energy I might have or extra brain cells, I'll just kind of I'll toss them in your direction for whatever that's worth. But for now, oh yeah. And Shelly, Vanna says, hope you feel better. I hope you feel better soon too. I hope that anyone out there who might be feeling a little under the weather can grab a sense of peace from today. Maybe a little bit of energy, maybe a little bit of wellness, whatever works for you. And I don't know about folks out there, but I've been feeling, really crafty lately. I know normally, I guess I do lots of weird artsy things when I'm here, but there's one kind of project that I haven't done and I've wanted to do for a very long time. Maybe some of the folks who watch out there have done this before. If you have, let me know. But I don't know if you've seen them. They're like these little owls made out of toilet rolls or cylindrical paper that's kind of wrapped around it. I have been hankering to make one of those for the longest time. And I don't know exactly why, because I don't know. I just feel this calling to try and make something cute, to make something, I don't know, perhaps I'm in that place of repurposing again now that we're all of us we're at home a little bit more these days. I know that a lot of places are in similar conditions as we are, at least in Durham Region. We're in the red zone now, which means that even though there's a vaccine, we still need to be careful, and it's back to kind of essential outings as much as possible. So again, we're having stuff delivered. We are using what we have at home, and I wanted to make one of these owls for the longest time, so I'm just going to go for it. I've never made one. Maybe I've seen a couple of things online about it, but I don't actually know what I'm doing. So please bear with me and hang out as I try to create this thing. Yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out as I go. And again, always looking, if you guys have done this before and have some advice or some friendly tips, please let me know. Yeah, we shall see. And as I'm creating today too, I'd love to know what you folks are working on out there. So if you have something special on the go, if you have a project that you've just completed, or something that, I don't know, something that you're really excited about, or has something that's challenging you in an exciting way, I'd love to hear about it. And you can even post pictures if you like. Oh, lovely. Nicole says, just finished my last Christmas gift that you were making. Congratulations. That is an amazing thing. I've still got a ton of stuff that I'm working on every year, even though there's a part of me that says, oh, this year you have plenty of time. Start early. You'll be able to get it all done. Doesn't matter. I always seem to run out of time. Best intentions. So I am going to just try and be gentle with myself, compassionate, not beat myself up about stuff I can't get to or I can't complete. Just take one project at a time and do that. But let's see. So I guess if it's a Christmas gift, Nicole, I guess you can't really say what it is because someone might be watching or listening. Maybe. But I love a good handmade gift. That's the best. That is the best. And I was just looking I have a couple of dolls from you that you crocheted. I think, well, some of them are for my nieces and nephews, but I might have kept one or two of them for myself too. And I think they're from Frozen. I think they're these lovely creations from Frozen. There's my water. And let's see. Vanna says, I'm working on an art challenge I like to call 12 Days of Christmas Random Art Fest Edition. Tell me more, Vanna. I want to know. Inquiring minds want to know. So is this something that you've signed up to, or is this something that you've created? I love that idea of a good art challenge, especially if it's something that keeps you going, keeps you accountable. Sometimes that little bit of structure can help get things done. And I know that if you have a deadline, or if you know that there's someone else out there on the other side waiting for a project, that can be a good motivator. Or if there's someone that you know is out there that you want to share the work with. All right, so what am I doing here? I'm creating a couple different textures and colors of the papers I want to use in my lovely little owl here. A lot of the ones that I've seen use construction paper, and that's fine. But I'd like to add a little bit more personality into this. Who knows? Who knows how this will turn out? I've never done it before. I might actually make this into an ornament as well, or perhaps this will become a gift. Because if I can, I'm going to experiment with making it into kind of, I think of like a little candy holder, or like the Victorian, they used to like have these cones, these paper cones that they would hang off of a tree. I'd like to see if I can make this owl into something like that, that I could put a little gift inside and then give someone. Oh, Lottie. Hey, Lottie, how you doing? Lottie says, hello, hope everyone is well. I'm currently decorating the Christmas tree. How wonderful. Oh, how wonderful. So do you have the holiday tunes on? Or are you having your own kind of holiday party as you're doing that? A little bit of you time to decorate and enjoy your festive season. I know that everyone who celebrates this time of year, and remember, a lot of folks don't. So, folks, if you're out there and you don't celebrate Christmas, that's okay too. All celebrations are welcome, and I think, regardless of what you believe or what kind of traditions that you've participated in throughout your life, I think there is common ground. For me, one of the common ground is kind of a return to contemplating nature and an appreciation of all things green and alive, and that promise at the end of the winter that there's something there, and all the creatures that hang in throughout the winter and drop by to remind us that everything's still okay, that there's life everywhere if we choose to see it. And light, of course. Light is such a huge symbol this time of year. And Nicole says, right now I'm embroidering hair. I think I know what you mean. I think. Do I? No, you know what? I don't. I'm making assumptions. What do you mean, Nicole? What are you're embroidering hair? Is this in, what kind of piece is this that you're working on? Is it, because I know sometimes you make your own hair for the dolls that you customize. And there's a whole world of people out there who do that too. And Shelley says, Shelley's welcoming everyone, saying good day, hope everyone is well and safe. If you're not well, hope you feel better soon. And that's very, like, true. Self-care number one these days. I think we all know there's hope on the horizon. And for Lottie, where you are in the UK, I mean, it's very exciting news that, well, not everyone, but folks there are beginning to get the vaccine. This is, this is a reminder that there's a lot to be hopeful for, a lot to look forward to, a lot to contemplate and appreciate, a lot to be grateful for. Prin saying hello. Hello, Prin. And Emmett. Hey, Emmett, how you doing? And Emmett says, I just received a new sketchbook in the mail. I'm so excited to use it. Okay, folks, we can talk about that forever. That moment of opening that sketchbook up and looking at those fresh pages, even the smell of a new sketchbook. Oh my goodness. It's beautiful. I don't know about you, Emmett. How do you break in a new sketchbook? Sometimes I just have to ruin the first page. I just have to scribble on it or crunch it up or something because it's so nice. That fresh new sketchbook. I get intimidated by that. Just the beauty of it all. And let's see, and Nicole, oh, interesting. So Nicole, that embroidery that Nicole was talking about, Nicole is finishing a male doll and he needs some hair. Fair enough. Fair enough. What can I say? Fair enough. All right, I think that is good for now. Yeah, new sketchbooks. I've spent a lot of time at the living room making do with used sketchbooks, gently loved sketchbooks, things that, and I do love repurposing. I love using up a good sketchbook if it hasn't been, appreciated as fully as it can be. And we get a lot of orphaned art materials, and we'll continue to need them heading into the new year too. So if folks are curious about what's happened to our donation process, we are still taking donations, believe it or not. We won't for the month of January probably, but then we're going to gently start accepting donations and figuring out how to negotiate that, because we will still need art supplies to share with folks as we head into the new year. And we're really hoping, I know we haven't been able to follow through on the offer we made to deliver supplies to folks, but we're really hoping that in the new year there will be opportunities for that. So donations will be just as important as they ever were. And Emmett saying, the sketchbook is specifically for use, for markers. Excellent. I usually Excellent. You usually swatch your materials in the first page to see how everything feels. So kind of like a sampler, a color page, a color wheel, or a texture wheel, something to give you an idea of how the paper works with your markers. I never understood markers. It's only, I should not never, but like a basic grasp of markers. They're cool, they're lovely. I love a good marker, there's nothing like it, but I never really understood how to use markers in fine art until actually some students from Durham College introduced me to Copic markers, and just the way they blend. And again, not an advertisement. I'm sure there are other wonderful marker brands out there that people can use. But when you get into that special area of markers, I think there's so much potential there. Definitely in the future, I'd like to experiment with that. Experimenting exactly with the things you mentioned, Emmett, the blending, the like painting with markers, because I think for a long time I think markers have been considered kind of a kid thing, but I know that manga and design work and like there's all sorts of creative fields that are reminding us that markers are not just for doodling anymore. And Lottie saying, we're not feeling very festive this year. Big sad. So we thought we'd do the tree to help. In the UK, lockdown's over, and in my area we're in tier 3, which is the same as your red zone. Aha, well, you know what? I'm glad that you're out of the lockdown, and I hope that everything's okay. I'm sorry that there's some big sad hanging over your head. If there's anything the living room can do or anything this community can do to help boost that feeling for you, will you let us know? Right? I know it's manufacturing happy isn't always an easy thing to do, and you don't need to do it. Don't force it. But I'm pretty sure in those moments where we allow it, where we just leave that little crack for that better feeling to sneak in, it will find a way. And I love that you guys are decorating a tree and introducing some of that. There's lots of beauty there, lots of joy, lots of potential hijinks. Tree hijinks, right? No? Am I the only one who has tree hijinks? Maybe? Anyone have any cats out there that like climbing their tree? That's a thing. That's a thing. So Emmett's saying, oh, excellent. So back to the markers. Emmett says, I have some Copic-like markers that blend beautifully. They were also easier on the wallet. So again, even something that I guess the price range can be all over, huh? And let's see. Shelley replying to Lottie. Ah, so Shelley did that too. Put up her tree as well, and it helped somewhat. But triggers from the past show up. That's an interesting thing. These times of the season can stir up a lot of things for folks. So again, if you're having a moment and you need to step away, take a break, call a friend, sort of shake things up for yourself in a way that brings a little bit more relief or positivity into your day, please do so. If you need to reach out for that support, I always, these times of year are often considered so festive and happy, and we can kind of overdose on the sort of consumer ideas of what this time of year means. Make meaning of it for yourself. Find a way to cultivate traditions or rituals or nothing if you like. Just let the time be. But make sure you're paying attention to that self in you, that self that needs to be nurtured and cared for, because that's where it all begins, right? It all begins with you, taking care of you. And especially if there are painful things that come up around this time of year. I know, Shelley, you're not alone. For myself, there are some big things that I always, sometimes out of the blue I'm reminded of. Not so good all the time, right? Take time to acknowledge that feeling, but you don't have to stay there. You don't have to live in it. Take care of yourself. Listen to what you need and do what you can to give yourself just those little pieces of, I don't know, whatever it is you need to help get you through, to shift into that other place, that better feeling place. And Lottie's saying, yeah, I'm backtracking here. But let's see, Lottie responding to Shelley, honestly, opening up the space is an amazing help. Oh, wow. Well, glad to be here. But keep us posted. There might be other things we can do too. And Nicole saying, I wonder what type of art people could make using smelly markers. Oh, smelly markers. I know we had a donation of those coming to the studio. last year around this time probably, but I think the smell had already faded away a little bit. Yeah. Or do you just mean the normal, lovely way that markers smell? I know not everyone appreciates this, but I'm definitely one of those people who likes, I don't know, can I say that? A little bit of a marker sniffer? Not for any recreational, just purely like just the actual smell, not, you know what I'm saying. Okay, I'm getting into trouble here. So, Vanna, oh, my cat would rather sit on me than go near the Christmas tree. Well, I suppose that is a good thing. Luckily, my cats are curious. They think everything I hang up around the house is for them, that it's a cat toy of some kind. What can I do here? So I suppose I just I have to be careful and, just with breakables and imagine all those different situations. Anticipate what my cats might find interesting every year. My sister has a cat that basically chooses a branch on the tree and then makes that their home for the entire season. So it's kind of like the cat shelf or the cat decoration. It's just, hanging out there all year round. Oh, and Emmett saying, oh, Emmett, okay, all right. Emmett doesn't agree. Emmett doesn't like the smelliness of the markers. Permanent markers smell awful, Emmett says, but but Emmett does like the fruity scented ones. That is a fun treat, I think. And I suppose that's a little bit of what today is for me too, revisiting this craftiness. I like the idea of revisiting something that my inner child might like to do or would have liked to have done. Or perhaps something my inner child would have liked to have done better than it was able to at the time I first attempted. Does that make sense? It's kind of like realizing that you can have cereal any time of day if you want. When you're a grown-up, it's like, I'm grown up, I can do this. I can have cereal for breakfast and dinner if I want. It's no biggie. When you have that moment of discovery, that moment of permission, you're like, whoa. And that joy has never truly left me. So, that's the little things sometimes, isn't it? And Vanna says, oh, you feel like your cat would break the tree if he tried climbing it. He's a pretty big cat. Yeah. I know. There are some lovely, what are they called? Chonky cats out there? Am I getting the terminology right, folks? And, Nicole says the markers, the one that smelled like fruit. Yes, or magic markers that used to change color if you drew on top of them with a white one. Yeah, I remember those. Those never really did it for me. But, Emmett, it does for Emmett. Emmett says, yes, the color changing ones were so much fun. Isn't that awesome? Just the different creative things that brought us joy. Yeah, right? And how lucky we were to have those experiences. There were certain things that I didn't get to try. I think I'm looking forward to experimenting with inks. That's never really been a part of my creative practice, but I think I'd really enjoy that. Or maybe not. I don't know. But there's all sorts of things that I think there's still a lot of creative things to be explored and experimented with and played with. Like the needle felting that I did a couple of weeks ago. Oh my goodness. I never would have done that unless if not for that donation that came into the studio. So I think that's something exciting for me, that there's more to learn, there's more to try, there's more to do. And yeah, those fancy pants markers are definitely on the list. I'd love to experiment and explore creating with those. And Vanna says, oh, your cat's not really chunky. He's just really long and heavy. Interesting. If you want to share a picture, please do. And in fact, if anyone has any festive images that they'd like to share in the show and tell we post afterwards, please do. I think today might be the day. And festive being whatever you need festive to be. How about that as well? So not just, the traditional kind of Eurocentric ideas of what this time of year means, the consumer times, all of that, but whatever whatever represents this season to you, wherever you might be in the world. Yeah. What keeps you going? What kind of things do you like to surround yourself that bring you joy? And this conversation about markers continues. I love it. So in the color changing markers, Nicole says the white ones got dirty very quickly. Yeah, no, I guess that's the point, right? And Emmett says, I think you were supposed to draw with the white ones first, though you couldn't see where you drew. What? Really? Okay. I mean, I'm not questioning you, Emmett. I mean, I think that could be exactly what they wanted, and that way you wouldn't get them dirty. I'm just questioning the creation of the material that... All right. That's a whole skill set on its own. Drawing invisible. Well, I guess you could... Well, now you got my mind thinking about light boards and tracing paper and things like that. How would you manage that? I guess there are ways. There are ways. I know, Nicole. I never thought of it either. But, you know, perhaps that's how they imagine people would like to get extra life out of those marker kits. Because that's another interesting thing about being at the studio, being in that space and seeing what folks donated. You got a sense of things that were treasured, that people held on to no matter what. And then you also got to see all the fads that people went through, right? The things that seemed like a great idea, but then perhaps, yeah, maybe they dried out, or people got bored, or they didn't work the way they should. We got a lot of those donations. So a lot of donations of materials that were, how would I describe this? You can just tell that someone was really excited about them and then used them for a little bit and decided, oh, these aren't good at all, and then would donate them. And we love those kind of donations because we can do lots of different and interesting things with them. But I have to say, we did receive a lot of those color-changing marker sets, but without those white markers, the clear markers that transformed the color. So that is information for me. That says something. Let's see what we got here. And Emmett, no. Ooh, wow, okay, here we go. Yeah, okay, interesting. Emmett says, I believe the idea was that you could highlight or scribble across the paper, then make funky drawings over top with the other markers. Oh, interesting. Yeah, marker conversations. We could have these all day, folks. But Lottie says, in other news, oh, I got a piece of work published. Oh, nice. On your University Student Union website. It was for Welfare Fortnight. And the topic was read and watch something lovely, which is a good thing to do if you're feeling a little sad. Oh my goodness, Lottie, this is amazing. Congratulations. Okay, you know what I'm going to ask next? Want to share the link? Please? If you can. If not, and if you don't want to, that's fine. You do you. But congratulations, that's incredible. And I love that theme, the read and watch something lovely. Yeah. Something to pick you up, to shift those gears, to bring a breath of fresh air or something new into your vision somehow. All the things, whatever you can do. Sometimes it can be such a lovely little small thing, but sometimes it's just about entering into that with intention, right? Choosing to focus your attention on something that is lovely. Oh, I like that so much. Congratulations. Oh, Leslie Marcia saying hi and sending hugs. Nice to know you're out there. How are you? Oh my gosh. 'Tis the season for connecting with folks. Some folks we haven't seen in a long time. And on that note, there might be people listening out there watching, and it's okay if you're not up to participating in the chat. If just listening is okay, if that's what you need today, that's all right. I appreciate you being here nonetheless. And I hope that what we're doing is bringing you a little bit of joy, a little bit of relief, maybe even a little bit of inspiration. You never know. But I appreciate you being here, even if it's only for a little time, a little bit of time. You don't have to stay the whole time. Oh, thank you, Lottie. Lottie has posted the link. So after this, I'm going to go have a look. That's fantastic. this bodes, this, I imagine it bodes well. Is this one of those things that they'll, okay, I'm going to have a little bit of coffee just to sort of calm myself down. Do a little self-regulation here. Take a breath. Just going to have a moment. Look out the window. All right, I'm back. So the question I was trying to ask Lottie was that, well, it's kind of statement, observation, then question. I hope or imagine that this is a very positive thing being published. And do you think it means there might be more opportunities for you in the future? Do you think they'll publish more of your work in the future? I'd like that. I think everyone would. And Leslie says, we are great. And me, as in, how am I? That's a good question. I'll tell you the truth. It's been a bit up and down for me. Like Shelley was saying near the beginning. Oh, and I see a thing, Emmett. I'm going to come back to that in a moment. It's been up and down this time of year, like Shelley was saying, for me also, and I imagine for many other people out there too. It's not always an easy time of year. Things pop up. I think there's also a lot of, it stirs up feelings of loss sometimes, right? There's people we wish we had near us. There's people that can no longer be near us, even in the best of times. There are perhaps things we'd hoped we'd accomplished by now that we can't. There are people we'd like to have connected with, but these times have made it very difficult. It's a very interesting time, and it reminds me, every year around this time, I have to remind myself that it's okay to be tender, and it's okay to take care of myself. And every now and again, I need to withdraw, and I need to have a good cry. And I think last week was one of those weeks for me, after, like on the Thursday, after having a lovely, wonderful day with folks in the live stream, just had a crash, just a really big kind of crash. And I just let it happen. It never got to a point where I felt unsafe or like I was scared for myself. But I just thought, there's something in me right now that needs to feel what I need to feel. And I made space for it and I acknowledged it. And I was glad that I did. For me, whenever I can acknowledge those things, it's a positive thing. Because when I feel them, that means I'll be coming out of it and feeling something different that much faster, I suppose. I know not everyone is the same, but for me, yeah. And so I know that I have that in me, so I can let myself feel what I need to feel and come back out of it. And that's just the way it is. That's just part of humaning 101. We're complicated and tender, resilient beings. And excellent, Lottie says, definitely. This is the question I have about being published and the likelihood of seeing more of your work. Lottie, I submitted a piece for the student magazine on the topic of color. Hopefully either me or someone else on my course will get selected. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed for all the writers out there. I think this will be a good winter for reading, and I want to hear some new voices. So let's do that. Maybe we'll have a reading day where we share all those resources. And then Emmett, I just want to revisit this because it's awesome news. Emmett says, I'm getting a mentor in animation. Yes, that's amazing. Congratulations, Emmett. I got the confirmation yesterday, Emmett says. That's fantastic. Now I need to know, I don't think I do, what exactly a mentor in animation is. That sounds very professional and very important. It sounds like possibly something to help move your career forward in a way or two. Am I in the right direction? I don't know. I want to know more. Oh, Carlos. Hello, Carlos. And Carlos says, howdy, y'all. Carlos, just catching up on what I've missed on here. The art piece is looking awesome, Mary. Well, thank you. Oh, Carlos, thank you very much. Having that little bit of, it's always nice to have a little bit of a boost, have a little bit of that kind of recognition, a little shine and a light. I shine it back on everybody out there, whatever you may be working on. And I am seeing some amazing, beautiful stuff, lovely stuff in the show and tell posts that we do. Thanks to everyone who shares their work in the show and tell post. It may seem like a silly thing, and I'm not always able to comment or respond right away, but I love seeing it there. And what I'm noticing is that people will post things even when they haven't necessarily listened or participated in the live stream. So I think it's a contagious kind of thing. The creativity is contagious. So when you post something you're working on, it inspires someone else. And even when you just post something that you love, that inspires you, I think we're having just like a lot of really interesting feedback, a lot of interesting conversations that are getting sparked there. And Vanna says, I completely understand that feeling. Oh, Vanna, thank you. It's always good to cry it out once in a while rather than holding it in. You got it. Better out than in. And that's why we're working on, B and I are still working on that public crying committee. I think, what are we calling it now? I think the latest version is the Free Crying Society. What do you think about that? Who wants to be a member of the Free Crying Society? I started working on some sticker art for that last week. Because remember, crying is good. Crying, that beautiful thing that just helps you shift gears, floats your boat. How many other strange metaphors can I throw out there, or analogies? I'm not even sure what's what. Metaphor and analogy. Lottie, help me out with that. It's been a long time. You think I'd know this. I'm an old person. I should also know how to spell and do basic maths. There's a lot of things I gotta work on. There's a lot of things I could work on. And Carlos says, a reading day sounds lovely. Oh, that's right. And on that note as well, in the last live stream, there was talk of reading plays together and poetry together and graphic novels together. I think Prin brought that up, and Emmett might have brought that up as well. And Jen, I think, all came from, I think, a quote from Midsummer Night's Dream. So two things have come from that. We are working on creating some kind of workshop or Zoomy thing, not necessarily workshop, but just a Zoomy live streaming experience where we can come together and read to one another or with one another. And the other thing, I talked to a couple friends of mine in theater who run lovely theater companies. And as we know, theater is something right now that can't really happen. So they got some time on their hands. So I'm hoping to do some Instagram live streams with some of my friends from the theater. The first person, of course, I reached out to because I sit on the board is Jeremy Smith of Driftwood Theater Company, which is a touring company that works, that takes Shakespeare to communities for pay what you can or free. They'll never turn anyone away who doesn't have the funds to appreciate their live shows that they bring from region to region. But they also, a lot of the funding that they generate goes to supporting new playwrights, new Canadian voices, people who haven't had opportunities or the platforms in which to share their work and have it performed. So he funds this, his theater company funds this amazing new work as well. So I'm looking forward to chatting with him. So keep an eye out for that if that's something you might be interested in. And Emmett says, oh, thank you. Emmett's coming back to answer my question about what an animation mentor is. I'm going to learn something here, folks. So Emmett says he's basically going to teach me the fundamentals in animation, what the career is like, giving me critiques, etc. Awesome. So that's awesome. Gosh, that's a thing. I think about all the things I would have loved to have learned without having to necessarily go to school for it first and shell out all that dough. I love the idea that someone's going to take some time to work with you in that way. That is, oh, that's beautiful. I love that. Congratulations. That's amazing. And Carlos, oh, Carlos. So what is Carlos working on right now, you might ask? Carlos says, I'm currently, safely and socially distantly, sat in the mechanics getting the car checked over, so I appreciate this space to be with you all despite being at a car garage. Yeah, though, you know, life still happens. We still need to do all those little things, right? All right, what am I going to do here? What am I going to do? What am I going to do? How am I going to do this? So this little owly thing I'm making, I want to make a little fold in the bottom so that it can hold things in. How do I do this again? I'll figure it out. Here I go. Boo, 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 boo. Boo, 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 boo. That's my sound effects for cutting toilet roll. I hope you are enjoying that, folks. There we go. And Nicole says, I joined a bunch of Facebook groups for crafts and I'm getting inspired through them too. Oh, nice. Yeah, Lottie, I love the sound of that too. Well, Nicole, if there's anything you want to share, I'm so greedy, aren't I? I just want everyone to share all the things. I find sometimes, oh yeah, that's sort of working. You never know where the next great idea is going to come from. You never know where the next great friendship is going to come from. And although, as an oldie, it took me a long time to become involved in the online community. I wasn't one of those people who just jumped on Twitter the first time I could. Even Facebook was like, I was like, what is this thing? And now, of course, there are so many other platforms. There's Twitch, there's TikTok, there's Instagram, there's Discord. We are setting up a Discord page. I will let folks know, the people out there who love that world. We have a Twitch page. The LivingRoom Community Art Studio has a Twitch channel, which we hope to reactivate soon because we haven't done anything on it in a very long time. What else? Let's see. There's lots of exciting things. What do you think about TikTok? Here's a sort of thing. Do you think the Living Room should start a TikTok channel, page, platform, social media thing? I don't even know what it's called. Maybe it's not a good idea. Old person doing TikTok. Maybe? I'm ageist today. I'm sorry. I apologize for my ageism. I'm gonna pull up my socks. I'm gonna do better. I could do TikTok if I want to. All right. So Carlos says, free crying society sounds awesome and healthy too. Crying, oh, I love this. Crying lets the boo-hoos out and makes us... crying lets the boo-hoos out and makes us pee less. Note, the latter part regarding pee is not true. I'm no doctor. But crying is so cathartic when we feel in a safe space to do so. It's valid, it's important, as are all of y'all, says Carlos. Thank you for that beautiful message, Carlos. That is fantastic. Oh, and Lottie says, yeah, the Free Crying Society sounds good. Or the the Free Tears Tribe. Wow, that's a good one too. Okay. We have, obviously, there's more there. There's more to explore. The Free Tears Tribe. I like that too, Lottie. That's awesome. Emmett says it's completely okay. This is the mentor program. So this is interesting, folks, because who knows, there might be something in your career, in your area, and in your passion, the thing you're looking into doing. There might be a resource out there similar to this, so it's worth looking into. With regards to the animation mentor, Emmett says it's completely volunteer-based, and I'm so grateful he's taking the time to teach me. That is lovely, 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 and I'm grateful too. That's such a great thing. I love when stereotypes are busted because I feel within the arts as well there is this tendency to view everything like it's like there are gatekeepers, like there are things that can only be shared in certain ways by certain people at certain stages of their life, and I don't think that's true. I think where would we be without connection, without sharing what we know with others, sharing our experiences with others? I know sometimes people worry about funding and, blah, 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 grants and having enough to help them get by. I get that. I do get that. But I think there's enough. And if we work together to ensure that there's always enough, and that we create as many seats at the table as possibly for as many people who want to be there. It's not that there's, what is that? What is that saying? It's not that there's not enough. It's going into a pie analogy now. Not enough pieces of pie. We just need to make a bigger pie. So we just need to make a bigger table for folks to sit around and just join one another around. Because goodness, we need as many voices creating art and speaking their truth as possible. That's the way things get better. That's the way things remain interesting. I don't want to hear the same stories all over and over and over again. Sorry for folks that do, but I really don't. And let's see. Shelley says, working on Christmas pictures using clay and cardboard. Love, love, love. I can't wait if you want to share pictures of those. That's great. And oh, Alpha. Hey, Alpha. Alpha says, I just joined a while ago. I was just listening to the conversations with folks and catching up with what's going on in the community these days. I really like the idea of revisiting and finding happiness in small things. I do too, Alpha. Of course, this totally resonates with you. Something I realize brings a lot of joy. It's nice listening to you engage and create art. Oh, goodness. Alpha, that's lovely. Thank you for saying so. I thank you for having the conversations with me that allow me to do this. It's not the same when I'm just talking to myself. And we're really lucky. What an incredible, beautiful, loving, caring, compassionate, honest, vulnerable, courageous, creative community we have. That's the truth of it. And I'm not just talking about our Oshawa community. I'm talking about everyone who's out there listening and participating and creating and sending those positive, beautiful vibes out there into the world. That is such an important thing. You are so appreciated. Wherever you might be, whatever it is that you might be doing. I know it's difficult. It doesn't feel like, a lot of the times it's hard to feel like what we're doing is being appreciated, or to feel like what we're doing is even being recognized or seen or heard. And it's true, sometimes it may not be heard by the people you want it to be heard by right away, or seen by the people you need to see it right away. But just know, the very fact that you're making it, the very fact that you're contributing, by imagining, by dreaming, or by, externalizing it and actually creating something, that all counts. It all counts. And the people who need to find it will find it. And the people who need to see it will see it or hear it. Don't give up. Don't give up. We need your voice in the world. Okay, that was my rant. It's so nice to see you, Alpha. And Shelley says hello to Alpha too. Yeah. Oh, Alpha. It's great that you're out there watching and listening. Thank you. And Emmett says, okay, so this is in response to my question, should the Living Room Community Art Studio start a TikTok thing? Emmett says TikTok could be fun. Lots of artists use it. And that, that's something. I guess I need to explore and research to learn a little bit more about what artists are doing on TikTok. So I guess I have to create some kind of TikTok thing so I can be a part of that. It's I love anything that allows artists to share on their own, well, as much on their terms as they can. Let's see. Lottie says the TikTok page might encourage younger creatives. And yeah, that's it as well, right? I think those younger voices, younger audiences are looking for things in a different way. They're finding things in a different way. So younger people out there, if anyone wants to help me in this quest, let me know. If you want to contribute or play a part in it, you're welcome. That would be, it could be super fun. But definitely, you're right. Like, people are finding things and sharing things in new ways. What am I doing here? What am I doing? And then Alpha saying hello to Shelley. Nice to see you. Oh, that's nice to see you engage. Really miss connecting with everyone. I've been taking a break, but it's nice to catch up and connect. I'm glad you've been taking a break, Alpha. I was just saying, I've been thinking a lot about, all the students, like this time last year, for you as a recent graduate, you were hustling. You were having to do so much. The time of year when all students are just hanging in there, holding on as much as they can. I appreciated everything that you gave us when you were with us at the living room. And I appreciate you still, of course. And Vanna says, depends on where you look on TikTok, honestly. Interesting, okay. It has a bit of toxic community as well as a good community at the same time. Yeah, I think maybe that could be every platform. I think every community, even. Maybe every person. I think we've all had our days and moments. It's easy to slip. It's easy to jump in and participate in something that later on we look back on and perhaps regret a little bit. I think I have to trust that with the kind of awesome community we have, that when those moments come up, when those things come up, when those difficult experiences come up for people, whether it's for myself or facilitators or other community members who are watching or listening or participating, that we'll find a way to talk about what's making it toxic in a really honest way. I think it's important to rupture those things and identify them when they come up so that we can teach and learn from one another, learn with one another about how we want to treat or support one another. So I think we have like really good precedent with everyone who's here with us, everyone who's familiar with the living room and what it does, that if and when those things come up, because they probably will, because we're human, that we'll be able to handle them together and work together to address them, to acknowledge them, to recognize them, and if need be, to say, no, not here. Because I don't think there's anything wrong with saying that either. Sometimes certain things are just, they're just crappy. And we just gotta say no. No. Oh, and Carlos coming to my aid with the... Carlos says, you're not an old person. We are all... thank you. This is a lovely reminder. We are all non-linear, wibbly-wobbly, and timey-wimey works of art in progress. Carlos, you are a gem. And that is a really excellent reminder as well, because what is age? There are physical things, there are certain things I can do that I couldn't do when I was younger, and there are certain things I could do when I was younger that I can't do as easily now. But all that's being said, I'm so lucky to be here, lucky to be alive, lucky to be in connection with everyone. That's a precious thing, and I do not take it for granted for a single moment. Thank you for the reminder, Carlos. Let's see, Lottie says, that's interesting. So, Vanna, you got someone there. Lottie's with you on that one. Lottie agrees with the toxic side. There's been several occasions where I've accidentally come across the dark and triggering side of TikTok. Interesting. Yeah, I suppose it's about navigating your way through that system and recognizing those places where you're safe, recognizing when you need to advocate for yourself or for others if need be. I think that's a social media thing. Maybe it's wherever you go, it's a thing. We used to experience that at the studio. I think it's easy to imagine that the studio was all rainbows and puppy dogs all the time, but it wasn't. We had to have, and we did have, with compassion and patience with others as well as with ourselves, we had a lot of awkward conversations, leaned into a lot of really interesting spaces and places to get to the bottom of things, to understand why someone would say or do or behave in a certain way, to see if they intended to have the impact that they did. That's a really big question. I like to think that people don't intend to cause others pain, that they don't intend to cause hurt or make someone feel uncomfortable or unwanted or unloved or appreciated. But every once in a while, that is out there. And that's when you make the choice to say no, or to report, or to walk away, or to invest and to see it through somehow. But that's a very personal thing for everyone out there. And Emmett, I think in response to Carlos and the agey, timely, weebly wobbliness of life, makes Emmett feel better about aging because Emmett turns 28 in February. Happy early birthday, Emmett. Happy early birthday. And Alpha Joy agrees. Nicole says, I'm finding that the situation has made me use things I have at home. Ah, yes. So turning to supplies or resources that we might have overlooked once upon a time. I agree. It's made us take a second look at things. Maybe not take things for granted that like those special things, like that new sketchbook that Emmett received today, like those beautiful things. It's a nice reminder to, not take anything for granted. Okay, what do I want here? So what am I going to do? I think it's time for eyes for my owl. And Peter, hey, Peter, how are you doing? Peter says, hello, how are you doing? Oh yeah, I know I didn't come to for a long time to visit, I guess as a part of the live streams. That's okay, Peter. That's okay. I'm not the boss of you. I know that we all have busy lives. We all got lots of stuff going on, and we need to take care of ourselves and our loved ones on top of that. So it's all good. It's all good. But Peter says, hope you're doing well and hope we can meet online soon. Yes, we're planning some things, but I suppose, before this ends, someone remind me, I'm going to update everyone on what our holiday schedule is going to look like, because I will be taking 2 or 3 weeks off. And hopefully I'm going to use that time to also upload and share things on YouTube, maybe like kind of archived stuff that maybe folks have missed, haven't had a chance to watch or listen to yet. But I will be taking a break, so I want to remind everybody when that is, and perhaps what to expect when we come back. And Vanna says, oh, Amino might be a good idea, since it's primarily an artist app from what I've seen. Vanna, I'm going to be honest with you here. I don't know what that is. No idea. Amino. That's awesome. Okay, I will add it to the list of things to check out. Has anyone else heard or used Amino before? Amino. Okay. Is it something you use on your... Well, you know what? I will just Google it. I will explore. I will research. I can do that. Thank you for that suggestion, Vanna. And Carlos saying, Emmett, if it helps. Oh, this is... Oh, I view aging as being similar to video games and Dungeons and Dragons. I feel like I'm gaining experience points for non-gamers, XP, as XP Carlos says, that enable me to gain new skills as I progress through the game of life. Then when I level up, not aging, level up. So then you level up. It's not okay, so it's not about aging, it's about leveling up. That's another fantastic way of looking at it. Love it. And I think what I like about that in particular is because that leveling up can happen at different times and different stages. It's not necessarily related to the years you've spent on the earth or the years you haven't spent on the earth. It's really about experience, isn't it? Okay, there's that. And let's see. Yeah, the experience points. That's a fantastic way of putting it. And the Dungeons and Dragons reference is very helpful. It just is. That's great. All right. I'm going to... Let's see what I do here. Could watercolor this, but I think I'm going to marker it. Speaking of markers, we've been talking about markers today, so I might as well. And Emmett says that helps a lot. It helps a ton, actually, Carlos. I'm not aging, I'm leveling up. That's it, folks. And Barb saying, good afternoon, everyone. Hey, Barb. I wanted to give my daughter Olivia some money for laundry, so I'm making a tiny washer and dryer to put the money in. A fun added stocking gift. That's amazing. Oh, that's lovely. Oh, I hope Olivia's not watching or listening. Then she'll know. Shh. That's a great gift. I love it. Are you doing it with paper mache? I wonder how you're constructing that. And of course, I'd love to see a picture when it's done, but I know it's a gift, so it's okay. And Nicole says, my dog decided to repurpose an art piece yesterday. Oh, did they? My dog decided to repurpose an art piece yesterday. Someone's snowman melted a few blocks away from us, and she decided his nose would be a good snack. So it wasn't necessarily your art piece. It was someone's an art piece on the street, a snow person on the street that, that's going to happen with, public sculptural pieces. They evolve, right? That's one way of looking at it. Your dog was just assisting in that process, adding to the character of that snow sculpture. Part of the risks of public art, folks. Yeah, there is snow here in Oshawa. I don't know for other folks. We got about maybe a couple of inches of snow last night and woke up to everything being blanketed and kind of a wet, soggy snow, but it's still beautiful. If you don't have to be out in it, that is. It's still beautiful. All right. I'm going to do here. And Lottie says, that sounds like a lovely idea. Oh, which idea now? I get lost in the comments and in my craft and I forget. Lottie, you might have to remind me. And Emmett says, well, I got to go now. Have a good day, everyone. Emmett, you have a good day too and enjoy that new sketchbook. And congratulations on the mentor again. And Alpha says, oh, thank you. One of the best things of being a part of this community is the welcoming space. Yes, taking a break from the busy schedule has been really helpful. By the way, I would love to engage with community like before, and I'm interested in doing something online for the community. Not sure what though. Oh, Alpha, I will be in touch. That's amazing. What a lovely offer. Yeah, let's connect about that. Let's see what we can do. Again, we're going to be gentle with ourselves and definitely give ourselves a break over the holiday, but that gives us some time to dream, to plan, to organize a little bit. Now, I'm going to make a slightly cross-eyed owl. And Carlos says TikTok, etc. could be a really healthy way to reach out with art as the connector. I agree there may be portions of the toxicity out there as is on most platforms. However, as Mary said, this community is nurturing and supportive. Plus, it could role model positive ways to challenge toxicity that may arise. That's a really interesting point, Carlos. Sort of another extension of the studio that we used to do for one another in person. Perhaps we can continue to keep creating online, and that includes the humaning perspectives too. However, that's something that we as the Living Room fam could chat over, but it's good that we're open to chatting about the good and bad of this. I think it's good to be aware. It's good to examine and have those conversations. And Shelley says, well, you are amazing. I tuned in thinking I wouldn't be able to chat, but feeling so much love and better. Not 100% better, but better. Shelley, so good to hear that. Yes, excellent. I know, sometimes, I don't know, just about making yourself available, not having too many expectations, letting yourself be where you need to be, and you never know what might happen as a result. I'm so glad, but on top of that, I'm just so glad you're feeling a bit better, right? That's a lovely thing. I am very happy about that, and I'm hoping other people who are listening or watching are feeling that too. May not be the same for everyone. But if you're getting just a little bit of something positive out of this, then it's worthwhile. And Vanna saying, I've been using Amino for over 2 years as a place to show my art to others, so I think I can answer some questions people might have. That's really great. Vanna, thank you for being such an incredible resource for us. I will be in touch. Oh, cross-eyed owl. I might have to revisit these eyeballs later. My cute, whenever I try to make cute, it always turns out being a little bit on the no, it's not scary. Weird, but I like weird. And Peter says we should do something on Zoom or in Room on Facebook so people can gather around during Christmas or before Christmas. Ah, like a Christmas drop-in? Maybe. I know a lot of other hives are doing an end-of-year party for Christmas. This would be really good for us to see each other. Yeah, that's, you know what, the room thing. How many folks out there know that we have this? We sometimes do groups on Facebook Rooms. So Facebook Rooms is Facebook's answer to Zoom style meetings. So we have some workshop, like a room workshop page, as well as a coffee catch-up room page on our Facebook. It's actually a group that you can join. And then we post a link and a time where we're going to have this shared experience where you'll be on camera. We can see one another. We can hear one another. It has the same kind of, you can experience some technical difficulties just like you would on Zoom or in any other sort of those kind of virtual meeting spaces. But all in all, it does give us a chance to connect with one another, enjoy that time together. So that's a really good point, Peter. I'm going to think about that. Having a virtual party in a Facebook room. If folks are interested in that kind of drop-in, let me know. And we'll see about arranging something. And Nye's dropping in. Hi, Nye. How you doing? Nye, I was just talking about the Discord page. Again, Nye is one of our amazing volunteers, one of our newer volunteers, who's been helping shape this incredible experience for us. I have yet to actually get my butt in gear to have a look at it, but Nye's been doing such incredible work. So if other folks out there are interested in Discord and learning more about how they can be a part of it, let me know. Let me know. And Shelley says that my owl is cute. Well, it's definitely something. Let's see if I can give it some wings. And then I'm going to perhaps pierce the sides here so that we can open it up and keep treasures inside. Maybe tie a string on it. Let's see. And I might add some extra definition to this as well. Those wings maybe seem a little too big, but maybe make them a little smaller. Let's see. And Shelley says, oh, let's see. Anna says, I agree, the eyes honestly add to the cuteness. Oh, well, thank you so much. Shelley says, love the group times. Yeah, so for some folks out there, being able to see one another and hear one another is a really important thing. Of course it's an important thing. So we like having that option for people out there. So definitely keep an eye out for more of that coming your way. And again, if we can't manage to get it together for Christmas to do something like that, definitely look for the new year. I wonder if I can sneak that under the eyes. All right, let's try this out. Let's see what we can do. And Nicole says, love your owl. I have to leave. Oh, sorry, Nicole, that's okay. I hope everyone has a nice day. Stay safe. You stay safe too. Thank you for joining us, as always, Nicole. And remember, if you can, later to post a pic of what you're working on if you like. That's the same for everyone, by the way. Feel free to post some show and tells about what you're working on. Aw, all right. Cuteness happening. I needed to do some cuteness today, I think. I'm definitely an experiential learner. Always learning as I go. Always learning what I can do differently next time. And Shelley says, I would be interested in that idea of gathering together. So in a Christmas room party. Okay, all right. I think that's something we can manage. And let's see. Oh, just checking on the time. Almost 3:15 our time. Let's see what I can do here. I'm going to add a little definition to some of these. Owl. Crafts. I don't know where that song is coming from. I thought I could keep it going for a few minutes, but I can't. Oh, my brain. I don't know if anyone else is feeling the wind down. I know I definitely am. I think we're all hanging in there a little bit. Am I right? We're all hanging in, and Shelley says, "Oh, oh." Shelley says the owl is adorable. I want him. Just kidding. Well, although how lovely to know that the owl has some potential homes out there. And it just started with an old toilet roll. You never know what kind of art can be made with the stuff that is lying around. I usually save these loo rolls for our friends in the UK. I usually save them to use as seed starters, little tiny pots in the spring. So I tend to have an abundance of them lying around, but this is the first time in a long time where I've actually made something like this. So, all right, getting out the awl for the next stage. And Vanna's saying, so true, the last few days have been draining. So draining, Vanna says. And okay, so it's good I'm not alone on this, and I can only imagine, yeah, Vanna, if you're in school, if you have exams, you are like going through the process of waiting for that work break to come your way. If you're lucky enough to get a work break, whew, it's a lot, right? I think some of us, I don't think it's actually something we're thinking, but it's easy to wonder, like, why am I feeling so tired? Especially if perhaps you've been doing more stuff from home, you've been not been as busy because of what's going on in the world. But I think, remember, part of what we're all coping with is this strangeness and the anxiety that's been with us for almost 9 months now. The uncertainty, the fear, all the different things, all the weird, not so good things, right? So that's on top of what we're normally doing and experiencing around this time of year. So if, like me, you're feeling that, that's okay. Hang in there and know that there is a little bit of a break, a little bit of a breather around the corner. And Lottie says, oh, let's see. Carlos, you like my use of loo rolls? You like that? Carlos likes that. Okay, there we go. I'll try to be more British, a little bit more British. No, maybe, I don't know. I'm Canadian. That's kind of British enough in a lot of ways. Lottie says, yes, it's the end of the year slump. The end of the year, yeah. That's exactly, it feels like a slump, like just pulling ourselves up every day. My last day of semester is tomorrow. Yeah, congratulations. And I've definitely slowed down a bit from September. A break is needed, absolutely, for everyone. And Carlos says, this was awesome. Thanks so much for this creative space. Sadly, I need to head off for now, but I look forward to chatting and creating with you all again soon. I hope you all have a safe and enjoyable day. See you all soon. Bye, Carlos. Take care out there. I'm glad that everything got taken care of with your car. That's good to hear. Or I'm hoping that's what happened anyways, that things are wrapped up there. And I'm just piercing this little owlie on each side here because I'm going to attach some strings. So just using my handy dandy awl, my little pokey tool that I love so much. That's good, that's working. And Vanna says, I had to rewrite 6 different, SORP and SEEK paragraphs in the last 2 days. I'm not sure what those are, but it sounds like a lot of work, a lot of schoolwork. Yeah. It's that time. Push, if you can get through taking care of yourself, give yourself those breaks when you need them. Let yourself do what you need to do. But you're so close, students, and everyone else, we're so close to a little bit of a breather, a little bit of, that time to just flake out a tiny bit. I think that's part of what I love about this time of year. It's not so spiritual or elevated, but I do like the idea that, again, not everyone has this luxury or this privilege. But for a lot of us, this time of year brings at least 1 or 2 days where collectively we can all just pause for a moment and be a little frivolous, be a little, indulge in like taking care of ourselves and being comfortable in, I don't know, maybe even being a bit silly. I appreciate that there's kind of a global sense of something of that nature. May not all be for the same reasons. We might do it for different reasons. Some of us might do it because we have to. But I hope that everyone does have a chance to have some rest and a little bit of self-care time very, very soon, because I think we all need it. And then when we come back in the new year, we'll be refreshed, hopefully, and ready for some new stuff. Making space for some new stuff. So what do I need? I think I need some twiny, stringy, yarny stuff. I'm reorganizing my office, so my twiny, stringy, yarny stuff is a little bit all over. That will do, I think. Let's do that. Yeah. Folks, this is a surprise. I think this might be a first for me. Will this be the first time I've actually completed something in a live stream? Or have I just jinxed it? I think a lot of the times I start things that I don't quite complete, but this might be the first time I completed something. Okay, don't get too excited, Mary. Don't get too excited. Let's see. And thank you to everyone who's hanging in there and listening. Thank you to everyone who watches once we're archived. Thanks to anyone who visited and dropped by for a little bit to share in the creative energy. All of that is so appreciated, more appreciated than you know. Again, we're really lucky to have such a creative community, such a compassionate, kind community. I think that's what I want more than anything in the new year. I want more. I'm going to look out for more kindness. I'm going to make space in my world for more kindness. For other people, but also for myself, to myself. Braiding this might take a little longer than I expected. What can I do? I know what I can do. Just gonna make it thicker. I guess that's something to think about. What do folks want to make space for in the year ahead? And Shelley's saying, great job. I know, hang in. Well, you know what? Live stream's not over yet, folks. The clock, the countdown is on. Will Mary complete an activity that she starts in one session of live stream? Place your bets now. And that does remind me about what I was going to talk about. I do want to let folks know that so next week, I think, will be the last week of studio stuff, live streaming stuff, that is, before we take a break for the holidays. There is going to be lots of exciting stuff happening in the new year. So I definitely want to let folks know that we're working on some interesting things. And we hope that you find them just as enjoyable and helpful as we do. So when we come back in the new year, after our break, it's hopefully going to be with a lot more stuff to do. A lot more opportunities for folks to participate, to join in, to host things that they want, to be a part of the community, even though it will probably, well, obviously, I think still be online for the large part. So keep an eye out for that. Oh, and Vanna says, there's always room for kindness. There's just no room for being mean to others. And to ourselves, right? That's the one thing at the studio we find over and over again. People are really generally supportive and kind to others. We show others the kindness and the support that I wish we showed ourselves more often. So let's make space for that. And it's not always going to be easy. There's going to be moments where we're mean to ourselves. There's going to be moments perhaps where we're mean to other people. But I think as long as we return to that touchstone of kindness, if that becomes our foundation, that's not so bad, isn't it? That's kind of cool. I wonder if we can do that. I see so much wonderfulness every single day. And every time I engage with everyone online here, wherever people are, wherever you connect from, Some people, maybe I've never met in person before. I've never heard your voice. But we communicate, we connect all the same. What an extraordinary thing. I'm so very, very, very grateful to everyone who participates and joins in these sessions, to everyone who's helped me through a very difficult year. Thank you for that. All right. Just a few more. Oh my goodness. This is truly a festive miracle. All right. And thank you again to everyone who's participated in the chat. I know sometimes that people comment or say things and I may not see it because I'm busy doing the craft, or maybe things just speed by, or for whatever reason, maybe Facebook doesn't want to show me. I appreciate you being here. And if you do have something you want to communicate with me, if you do need me to touch base and check in with you, send me an email and let me know. If you can always connect with me at info@livingroomcommunityartstudio.org. Sometimes I don't see messages or those kind of things or comments. But generally, emails, they all tend to come to me, so I will see them sooner or later. And I will get back to you, even though it takes me, sometimes it can take me a while to do that. But I appreciate your patience. And I appreciate the support too. There's a lot of people showing us a lot of love in a lot of different ways. Thank you to everyone out there who's taking the time in all the small ways or large ways to support the living room, either by participating here, by visiting our pages and connecting with our community. Thank you to the folks who support us financially. That's, especially these days, such a huge thing. And I know not everyone can. For those who are, for those who do, thank you. It means so much. Okay. Oh, come on. Now I'm so focused on threading this owl. So focused. All right. Is this the day where Mary finishes something? Did I do it? Oh my goodness, did I do it? I think I did. So I've created my little owl ornament here. Oh, this brings me joy. Shelley says, thank you. It has been better because of the online programs. I've made it through. Well, thank you, because you being here has also helped me through. I think that's a lovely thing that we've been able to share and do for one another. And I know it's not always easy. I know that it's not as easy as it looks sometimes. Here, I'm going to go close up on this. But I do think we are all in this together in a strange way. And as long as we can hang in there and keep creating, hold on to our senses of humor, and also that kindness that we were talking about, right? Everything is possible with a little bit of kindness. I do believe that. Folks, I have finished something. I'm just, yeah, I finished something. Yeah, thank you. Congratulations, Savannah. I am so happy with that. Oh, and I'm happy to have spent time with you folks today. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Thank you so much for making things with me, for chatting with me and one another. Every week, I enjoy watching that sense of community develop between the people who participate in these live streams. And I hope that for those who are listening, you're also getting a sense of that community, even though, You don't have to participate in the chat if you don't want to. I hope that this helps you feel a little less alone, maybe a little more inspired, a little, I don't know, gives you a little taste of the wonderful, weird, imperfect perfection of our creative community here. And I want to know that you're a part of it no matter where you are in the world. And Alpha says, thank you for today. I really missed being a part of this. Oh, we missed you too, Alpha. Also, I look forward to work with you and hear from you. Yes, indeed. Everyone keep an eye out for new programming coming your way in the new year. I'll be back here next week, next Wednesday, for another live stream art session. And we'll see what we can do about that room festive get-together. That should be fun. Oh, yes, anyone who is in Oshawa, who lives in the Gibb Street neighborhood, the Gibb Street West neighborhood, we're having a Zoom workshop this Thursday, so that's tomorrow, if you're watching this on Wednesday the 9th. If you're interested, or today the 8th. I can't remember what day it is today. Yep, that's my brain. But if you are available and would like to participate in a workshop for the Listening to Our Neighbors project, to share your stories of what you notice, what you appreciate, what you love about your community, the neighborhood of Gibb Street West, send us a message, register so we can send you the Zoom link. But for now, everybody, and Vanna's saying, I hope you have a lovely rest of the week, everyone. I reflect that right back at folks. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being a part of our creative community and participating. And thank you for sharing all the good news and the not so good news about where you're at and what you're doing. We always love hearing it. And don't remember, if you have cool stuff that you want to share, feel free to add it in a post or a comment in the show and tell post that we do every day, every Wednesday after this live stream. Making art matters, and what you're making, it matters more than anything. We need to hear your voice to keep this world an interesting and vibrant place. So yeah, thanks for being here. Thanks for being you. And what? Until we can connect and create with one another in person, I look forward to creating and connecting with you right here online. See you soon, folks. Take care of yourselves. Stay safe. Be well. Look for that beautiful loveliness coming your way. Mwah. Bye.